Jonathan Kuminga may be up for grab, guys. And what are the possibilities of the Chicago Bulls acquiring this young talent in Jonathan Kuminga? But before we get into that, I want to thank you guys for all the support. The next goal is 7,900 subscribers. Let's get to that goal, baby. Y'all been killing it. Let's continue to do so. So Jonathan Kuminga, bro, it's Steve Kerr is doing it again. He did it with Jason Tatum in the Olympics. He's doing it to Jonathan Kuminga. But is it all of his fault? I don't think it's all of his fault. Let's talk about it. Jonathan Kuminga to the Chicago Bulls. Golden State Warriors owner Joe Lacob and head coach Steve Kerr always proclaimed that Kuminga was in the Warriors' long-term plans. But after the acquisition and extension of Jimmy Butler, that proclamation is worth shit. It's worth nothing. Because the plans have changed. Not only have you acquired Jimmy Butler, a guy that's kind of fit the role of a Jonathan Kuminga, or the guy that's going to be in Jonathan Kuminga's way. You extended the guy for the foreseeable future, Jimmy Butler. So Kuminga just sitting back like, okay, what about me? Yeah, what about you? What about you, Jonathan? They have picking a guy with experience over developing a young talent. The Nets, the Heat, the Bulls are names of teams in a race for Kuminga. And when you look at it, the Nets, they're a young team, young developing team. They can use a guy. What if he explodes or becomes something that he was never going to be in the Golden State Warriors organization? Same thing for the Miami Heat. They looking for that diamond in the rough. I'm not so sure about the fit with the Chicago Bulls. When I look at the role he could play with our team, he kind of fits that Montes Buzelis role. And I know it always come back with me to Montes Buzelis, but they play the same type of role. And at this point in their careers, respectively, I think they're about even. Montes got probably the same exact numbers, but shooting a better percentage. But we'll go on. Maybe he can be better playing alongside a new cast of crew. The Warriors expressed significant interest in Nikola Vucevic at the trade deadline. That means this could have been a deal last year. But the Chicago Bulls front office, AK and Eversley, insisted on keeping Nick Vooch for some reason. I don't know what happened to that trade that was on the table. They were talking. They could have kept talking. I don't understand. Nick Vooch does not fit the criteria of the way we want to play basketball in the future. Why not take a chance on a great young prospect in Jonathan Kuminga last year? I hope that the Warriors are still interested in Nikola Vucevic. It does look like they need some bigs over there in Golden State. Don't fuck this up, bro. If you really thinking that this kid can come in here and help the Bulls, don't be stingy with Nick Vooch. You got to get rid of him anyway. Brett Siegel, the one that broke this story with a tweet yesterday, highlighted other players Warriors might be interested in. And those players are, number one, Ayo Dosunmu. Just forget about it. I know he injured. Y'all think that we can lose interest in Ayo because he injured or something, but no. Ayo Dosunmu is not needed to acquire a guy like Jonathan Kuminga. He is not needed. So let's not even talk about Ayo Dosunmu. It's not going to happen. And the other player was Patrick Williams. Now we can talk. Nikola Vucevic and Pat Will for Jonathan Kuminga. I think that's a deal. I'm willing to go along with that. Do anybody else have a problem with that? Nikola Vucevic and Patrick Williams for Jonathan Kuminga. We're going to draft a center. Yes, we're going to draft a center. So Patrick Williams and Nikola Vucevic for Jonathan Kuminga, that's a good trade. I don't care. Some of y'all going to crunch the numbers and stuff like that, but leave Ayo Dosunmu out of it. Jonathan Kuminga through 4 years has averaged 12.4 points per game, 4 rebounds a game, 1.8 assists, shooting 50.7 field goal percentage, and 33% from 3. Like I was saying earlier, Mata is a little bit ahead of him right now. He just need to change the scenery. Look, in conclusion, I am not mad of acquiring a guy with the talents of Jonathan Kuminga. It just depends what we giving up. They want to talk about Ayo. We can't talk about Ayo, Golden State. You want to talk about Nick Vooch. You want to talk about Patrick Williams. We could talk. I think those two guys can help you guys as team. So I think we're in a position where we can get a deal done. You guys gonna have a center. We're probably gonna see that you guys are gonna need a center in this game 7 later on today. And a guy in Patrick Williams that probably need new scenery. It's just not going to work in Chicago. But he does have physical talents that maybe Steve Kerr can bring out the best. So in conclusion, if the Chicago Bulls want to go after Jonathan Kuminga, be smart. This has been the Chicago Shy Bulls podcast with the Cognac Boys. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all subscribe. We on our way to 7,900 subscribers. Y'all the best in the world. See y'all on the next one. For sure.